DMV is lagging so hard right now. I'm literally waiting. I'm still waiting on the registration for this Miata so that we can continue with the process. And that's kind of the reason why the videos have been slowing down, because I don't want to keep showing you guys like the same stuff every video, like just me and my car. I mean, obviously if you guys want to see it, then I'll show you, but you know, I get bored sometimes, you know, recording the same videos over and over and over again. So I just kind of want to switch it up. So I'm literally waiting on DMV to send me the registration for the Miata so that we can take it to the paint shop, aka body shop, so we can continue with that build. But like I said, without that registration, can't do anything. And it's so incredibly hot today. It's literally 101. It's literally well, my car says 106, but I think it's because it's been sitting. But my watch literally says 101 degrees outside. That is ridiculous. It is legit hot as balls out here. Like, it's so hot. I understand, because there's always gonna be that person saying, oh, it doesn't get as hot as, you know, this day, or that's, you know, that's nothing, you haven't experienced nothing. My response to that is, I used to live in Houston, Texas, so I know that it does get hotter in other states, but nonetheless, it's still hot. Like, to put that in perspective, like, AC was invented in Houston, Texas, so that can explain like how hot it gets there. But nonetheless, like I said, it's still hot here. And that actually brings me to my next topic that I want to talk about. Like, that's why I am trying not to drive this car as much. The reason being is because it's literally like in heat soak, like the whole time you're driving. Like, it's so hot that the car charge air temp and intake air temp is literally over 100 degrees. And with me, like, being like big turbo, pushing more boost with full bolt-ons, like, I'm already pushing the car to its limits already as it is, and everybody knows like heat is the killer of pretty much everything. So that being said, like, the hotter it is, the more likely of something bad happening, like me like bending a rod or throwing a rod, whatever. So I'm just being cautious. I'm not saying like I'm not gonna drive the car, but I'm just like being cautious. So that's kind of why the videos have been slowing down just a little bit, because I can't just like, you know, be speedy because all it's like everywhere, because like I said, it's like extremely hot outside. Plus, like I said, I'm just trying to switch up the content because I don't want to keep showing you guys like the same stuff every single video, because you guys get tired of it, I'm pretty sure, and I get tired of especially like when I'm editing, I'm seeing the same stuff. So I'm trying to switch it up just a little bit. So we just hit 4,000 subscribers last week, and I just want to give a serious shout out to you guys. It's honestly really crazy. It's so easy to talk behind the camera, but I know for sure the day that I get to meet you guys, my knees are for sure gonna buckle, I promise you. So one thing I did regret for like a split second, but then I realized and came to my senses that I may have saved this engine without even consciously knowing. And that's actually choosing the .86 AR over the .64. So basically, there's generally like two types ARs for this car. So there's .64 and there's .86. Basically what that means is the turbine's bigger, obviously, as a .86, and the turbine is a little bit smaller as a .64. So the bigger means there's more time to spool, and the smaller means there's less time to spool. And obviously with it being less time to spool means you're going to be in boost at an earlier RPM rate, and being a .86 meaning you're going to be in boost at a later RPM rate. So as it being in boost at an earlier RPM rate, you're actually putting more stress on those engine components because you're basically in boost all the time, versus being at a .86 AR, meaning you're in boost at a later RPM rate, you're putting less stress on the engine components, meaning you could be actually saving them instead of actually destroying them. I know that sounds confusing, but basically that's basically what went on in my head at one point, and I guess I don't regret it as much. So I guess there is pros and cons to it. I mean, I would love to be in boost all the time, but I would rather not be in boost all the time, given that I am on a stock engine. Obviously, that's a personal problem. If I did have a built engine, then I wouldn't be worrying about this stuff. But because of the fact that I don't, and who knows, maybe one day when I do build this engine, I may just end up getting like a bigger turbo, and of course, trying to boost up a little bit and get a little bit more horsepower out of this thing. This place is always windy, and it's always a little bit cooler, but it's literally still 100 degrees. 30 minutes from my house and it's still 100 degrees. time, and the max PSI that I reached was 10, which is nothing. And again, I'm just trying to kind of sort of stay out of boost. Don't really want to throw all this boost out the engine when it's over 100 degrees outside. It's just so incredibly hot. It's ridiculous. Car looks good though. Yeah, this car has get up. It's just you came from the supercharger, so the supercharger is always going to be faster.
Yeah.
The turbo obviously has turbo lag, but I don't think it's that slow. I think it has some spunk to it. It's just obviously not as fast.
Definitely not as fast.
But we can make it faster.
Will it waste more gas?
Of course.
Then no. Because I did that with the Audi.
Yeah, but how sick would it be to have a big turbo?
Whoa, my goodness.
How sick would it be to have a big turbo can you say it? Lexus.
It'd be cool because I'd be like one of the very few if other people have done it.
I don't even know if anybody else has done it.
I should Google it. See if anything pops up like on YouTube or something.
Don't even try because you won't even do it.
You don't know that.
Stop that. You would not do it.
I will, because in the winter I get my little red back.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yep.
My car.
Yep.
I get my car back. Do you think it would be like as big as the gas difference as how your car went, huh? Because that's when your gas started going drastically down, didn't it? When you did a...
Yeah, but it's the reason why my gas gets sucked down now is because I have ox fuel kit. So it delivers more fuel. So honestly, it just all depends on the car. Like this car, it all depends on one, your power your power goals, and two, like how the car reacts.
Two big turbo?
Yeah, like how the car reacts with certain modifications that you do.
Interesting.
So, but I would be interested in seeing this car big turbo. The thing is though, like you got to be dedicated to wanting to modify your car. You just can't.
I can't just do that?
You can't just wake up one day and be like, oh, I want a big turbo in my car. Like one, obviously it takes like a ton of research, so you know like what you're getting yourself into, what needs to be done, and if you need to do any supporting mods. Basically what that means is, like say you have a big turbo, you have to think like, is there anything that I need to support that big turbo? You know, like there's some cars
like a different mod.
Yeah, like there's some cars, like for example my car, like I went big turbo. The goal was 400 horsepower, right? But okay, yeah, I went big turbo, but in order to support the 400 horsepower goal and to support that big turbo, I need an aux fuel kit to deliver more fuel so that the turbo can work efficiently.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I'm not saying all cars are like that, but. So this video might have been shorter than intended, so we're gonna end this video with a little Q&A. Posted on my Instagram story, and you guys responded with a couple questions. So let's read them. I don't know. Should I go this way or this way? I mean, it's only a couple questions, not a lot. I'll start from the
end. Yeah.
So, first question from... Actually, I don't think I'm read their username. So, first question is, should I go big turbo or new whip?
New whip.
You think new whip?
Yeah.
My thing is, it all depends on what the end goal is. Like, I 100% would say go big turbo because I've been big turbo for now, like, what, 2-3 years? And 100% do not regret it, like, at all. But at the same time, like, if you want a better car that, like, not a better car, but, like, a better platform to build off of, depending on what car you want and what your end goal is, then I'd say get a new car. But if it's kind of going to match up to what you have now, then I'd say invest money
that you have now.
Yeah, invest the money that you were going to spend on buying a new car and then just invest it in the car that you have now.
But, yeah, I mean, I feel like if you are going to keep the car that you have now and then get a new car that's, like, completely faster, that's what I'd say. Like, I guess there's different situations. It depends on the situation.
So, yeah, it just depends on what your end goal is. So, next question is, would you ever take out the back seats and gut the interior and go and just go full race car mode. Honestly, gutting my car for weight reduction is not really my thing. What impresses me is when a car has full interior, has AC, has power steering, and it's just as quick as a car that didn't have all that stuff. So kind of sort of like, yeah, not gutting my car is not my thing, basically. Just to sum it up.
I think it looks really ugly when people gut their cars. Like, I get it, it's to make it lighter, but
Yeah.
it looks ugly to me.
Yeah, I mean that's maybe people's things, and again, like weight reduction does work. I can 100% vouch for that. It does work, but it's just really not my thing. I mean, at the end of the day, again, me, it's not really that serious, but some people like it is that serious, so it's just not my thing. Next question is: are you content with your power or pushing more? That kind of sounds weird. I think.
Are you happy with the power you have, or do you want more?
Yeah, basically. I am content with that. Content. I am content with the power that I'm pushing now. But
you want more power?
I would want more power, but in order for me to get more power or push more power, I would have to build my engine, and it'd be a substantial amount of money to do that. Because think about it, like I would have to build my engine. I necessarily wouldn't have to go bigger turbo, but I would want to go with a bigger turbo, and I would have to switch out from my 2-port to a 4-port aux fuel kit. So it'd be a substantial amount of money, but I would want to do it. But for right now, like I am content with the power that I'm making, especially with the being on the stock motor. I think it's pretty good. Next question is favorite thing about your car. Let me think.
Lily when she's in it.
I think my favorite thing about my car is something that I actually always admired about it. So I think that should be something that I'd say is the steering. I've always admired the steering in the ST. It's very tight, and I think it's because newer cars nowadays they use what they call, I believe it's electronic power steering. So the power steering is more so like fake, I guess you can say. But yeah, I've always admired the steering in the SC because it's nice and tight. Like you've driven it, right? Can't you tell that it's like tight, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's very.
I like the way it steers.
Yeah, it's like very grippy. Like it turns corners well. That's just what I admire. But I think that's my favorite thing about the car. Next question is that says contemplation, right? I never knew
They
how to.
must have spelled it wrong.
Okay,
That
right?
says compilation.
But I think they mean contemplation, right?
Do a contemplation of your racing and doing pulls.
Basically, put a video together.
No. Doing a compilation, like compile all the videos
Yeah,
together.
yeah.
It's not contemplation.
But I would want to do it. The thing is, though, like I kind of quit racing because I mean it's cool. Don't get me wrong. You kind of get to judge like how fast your car is. But at the end of the day, like that's not really what I plan on building. I guess my channel off of like just straight racing videos. But
It's dangerous.
But I guess it would be pretty cool to see all my racing videos in one. I don't really have any recent ones, so it'd be all old videos. But I mean, maybe one day when I'm bored, like right now, it'd actually be a good time.
That'd actually be a cool video.
Yeah, it'd be a good time because we're in quarantine, so I really have limited things to do. Yeah, a lot of time basically. And last but not least, the last question is, what made you want to get bags for your ST? That's
a good question.
That's a good question, and it's an easy question. So I went from springs to bags, and I wanted to go lower. So my thing was, do I want to get coilovers or do I want to get bags? The thing with coilovers is if I would have got coils, I pretty much would have maxed them out. And obviously wouldn't have been good because where we live, there's a lot of potholes, there's a lot of speed bumps, there's a lot of like steep driveways to get in and out of.
Yeah.
So basically I would have been going through like bumpers and cup spoilers like nothing, like almost like each month.
Wasting more money.
Yeah, basically wasting money. And that's honestly not my thing because I already don't like body shops as it is, so I don't want to keep dealing with them if I don't have to. And I honestly don't see what the big thing people have with bags, like talking against them when they're like 100% like they're very they're convenient.
Yeah, because you can put them up, you can put them down.
Yeah,
That's what I like about
Yeah, it's convenient. Like, oh, shoot, like, here's a steep driveway.
Yeah.
Let me air real quick. Air up, get out of it, and then air back down. Like, I honestly don't see what the big fuss is about them.
Mm-hmm.
My thing is, I feel like there's a lot of people who talk against them that never had them. So, like, they just come up with this, like, random idea of bags are bad or whatever. But, yeah, that's what made me get bags is the fact that I wanted to go low. And the low that I wanted to go would require me having to air up sometimes or change the height at times. And so,
Definitely.
what better way of doing that with bags versus anything else? So that's kind of sort of why I went back with bags. But that concludes all of our questions. So this ends this video. If you guys like it, give it a fat thumbs up. But other than that, I will catch you in the next video. Peace out.
I've been really trying, baby, trying to hold back this feeling for so long. And if you feel like I feel, baby, then come on. Oh, come on. Woo!